Okay, good day. So today we'll be having our next learning outcome. So CO1, analyze the importance of the principles of mechanics in marine engineering. And then we will go to our learning outcome 1.2, solve problems involving kinematics applicable to marine engineering. Okay, so these are the topics. So let's go. Okay, first, kinematics in marine engineering. So linear motion kinematics. So piston movement in marine engines. So this is the piston, this the one going up and down with a rod. That is a piston rod. So that is the one piston movement. So that is the piston moves linearly inside the cylinder, converting combustion energy into mechanical energy. Okay, as you can see in the picture or in the slide. Next, we have the hydraulic cylinder operation. So hydraulic and pneumatic actuators provide linear motion in various auxiliary systems like steering gear, deck machinery, and valve actuation. So as you can see here, there is a hydraulic oil here pushing this part here, the hydraulic cylinder. So it is giving a linear motion in various systems on board ship. Next, we have the reciprocating pumps. These pumps use linear motion to transfer fluids such as in boiler feed water pumps and bilge pumps. So this fluid is moved here and then goes upward in a linear motion. This fluid here is moved to the other side, this one and that one. Okay, so this is a gear pump, lobe pump, and a vane pump example. Okay, so those are, oh, by the way, these are not reciprocating pumps. So the reciprocating pumps are those piston type pumps like this one, but they are supplying fluid, not this, not like the engine which is powered by combustion chamber. So mali pala ito. Okay, next we'll go to rotary motion kinematics. So first we have the crankshaft rotation in marine diesel engine. So this is the crankshaft. Okay, so the linear motion from the piston is converted into rotary motion on the crankshaft. You see, this is the piston going up and down, and then the linear motion of the piston up and down is converted to rotary motion into the crankshaft. Okay, then the crankshaft, yung crankshaft mo naman is connected naman sa gear, tapos yung gear naman is connected sa propeller shaft, and then yung propeller iikot din siya kasi konektado siya sa ating crankshaft. Okay, so these are the propeller shaft and propeller motion. Transmit rotational motion from the engine to drive the ship forward. So itong crankshaft na dito, ito yon. Okay, so maybe it's better kung lilipat natin, no? Dito banda yung makina, dito banda yung propeller, para parang connected siya. Next, letter C, turbo machinery. So turbochargers, steam turbine, pumps. So these high-speed rotational components that enhance efficiency of the engine. So ito yung turbocharger natin. Yung exhaust dito sa ating turbocharger, lalabas yung exhaust na yan. And then pupunta yan dito sa turbine na ito. Paikutin niya yung turbine na yan. And then lalabas siya pa doon funnel. Habang since yung turbine na yan is konektado dito sa turbine naman sa kabila. So sa kabila naman magkakaroon tayo ng suction of air. Papasok dyan sa compressor, and then ipapasok niya doon papunta dito sa loob ng engine for the intake stroke. And sa exhaust stroke naman, dito naman lalabas. So ganun yung system niya. So yung purpose ng turbocharger is to increase the efficiency of our engine. So mas maraming hangin may papasok mo sa engine, mas mataas yung power na makikreate niya during combustion. And then yung exhaust naman na hindi mo na magagamit, so pwede pa natin gamitin para siya yung magpapatakbo ng ating turbocharger. Okay. Sa baba naman, we have here steam turbine. So, yung papaikot naman nitong ating turbine na ito is steam. So, babangga yung steam dyan sa mga blades, and then iikot yan. Pag ikot yan, since connected yan dito sa generator, so tatakbo din yung generator, and then magpuproduce naman ng kuryente para sa barko. Okay. Next, we have the electric motors in auxiliary systems, drive components like pumps and fans. Okay, so ito yung motor natin. So pag nilagyan mo yan ng electrical ng power, so syempre ikot yan, and then kung ano yung nakakonekta sa kanya, ikot din. For example, yung fan mo, pag nakakonekta siya sa fan, ikot yung fan, magkakaroon ng hangin. Pag sa pump naman, ikot yung pump, and then magkakaroon ng suction, and magdi-discharge siya ng tubig ngayon. So ganun. Okay. Okay, kinematics in marine engineering for oscillatory motion naman. So, oscillatory motion. So, parang ganito. Umiikot siya. Tapos, pag ikot niya, meron siyang mababangga. So, ganun. So, valve rocker arm in diesel engine. So, ito yung rocker arm natin. Ito pala yung rocker arm natin. Ito. This is the rocker arm. May rocker arm ba dito? Okay. So, converse camshaft. So, ito yung camshaft. Converse camshaft rotary motion into oscillatory motion to open, close, inlet, and exhaust valve. Ito yon. So, pag ikot nitong camshaft, itutulak niya itong ating mga valves. So, wala na pala itong rocker arm. O, ito na ba yung, ito nang, parang ito na yung rocker arm niya, diretso na. So, naka-overhead cam na siya. So, pag ikot itong camshaft, itulak niya itong valve na yan para mag-open. So, depende kung mag-open siya during the intake stroke or the exhaust stroke. Okay, another one. Steering gear, ram, and rudder movement. The steering gear transmits oscillatory motion to the rudder for maneuvering. So, ito, nag-move siya left and right para yung rudder naman sa baba is mag-move din left and right. So, pasensya na, hindi yan konektado. So, parang nagkabila na yung movement niya. Pero, hindi kasi yan konektado sa isang magkaiba kasi yung pictures na yan. Okay, or GIF na yan. Okay, next, letter C, camshaft and cam follower motion. So, cams move in oscillatory motion to actuate fuel injectors and valves. So, ito yung cam natin. Meron siyang ilong, cam nose. Pag angat ng cam nose, iaangat niya itong ating fuel pump. Itong pump na Bosch. Injection pump. Yan. Pag angat ng injection pump, magsusupply naman siya ng fuel papunta sa ating injector para itulak yung injector, magbubukas siya, and then magsispray doon sa loob ng engine para magkaroon ng combustion. Okay, so that's how it works. Next, we'll go with the complex mechanism, the combination of motions. Okay, so first, letter A, we have the crosshead mechanism. So these are examples lamang. Crosshead mechanism. So asan yung crosshead? Ito. This is the crosshead. Up, down, up, down. Okay, so the crosshead links the reciprocating motion of the piston, yung piston na sa taas, and the rotary motion of the crankshaft. Yung rotary motion sa baba is ng crankshaft. So yung nagko-connecta ng reciprocating at ng rotary motion is the crosshead. So yung crosshead, siya yung nagkakaroon dyan yung ating complex mechanism, the combination of more of motions. Okay, letter B, gear trains and reduction gear used in turbochargers and propulsion systems to manage speed and torque. So, yung linear motion na exhaust gas, ano ba yung turbocharger? Wala dito turbocharger. Iba kasi ito exhaust gas recirculation. So, yung exhaust gas natin, na linear ang motion, mababangga siya doon sa ating turbocharger. So, magka-create siya ng rotation na rotary motion. So, same din sa propulsion system natin. So, yung from the piston, from the engine na reciprocating, nagkakaroon ng linear motion papunta sa ating propulsion, sa propeller. Okay, next, letter C, governor and fuel rack mechanism. So, this is the governor. Ito yung governor natin. Ito. So, it regulates fuel supply by converting rotary motion into control displacement. Okay. So, ito yung ating governor. Umiikot yan. Di ba? Pag mas bumilis yung ikot ng makina, ibig sabihin nag-overspeed ka na. So, ang gagawin ng governor is, since connected daw siya sa fuel supply system, babawasan niya yung fuel mo para hindi ka mag-overspeed. Di ba? So, to protect the engine from overspeeding, so, ibabawasan niya yung fuel, so, kukontrolin niya. Tapos, pag bumaba naman yung RPM mo, mag-maintain na siya doon. Pag sobrang baba naman ng RPM mo, siyempre, makikita nito, babagal din yung ikot nito, ng ating governor. Pag bumagal yung ikot ng governor, makita niya, mag-send siya ng signal dito, kasi konektado lang yan sa fuel supply, bubuksan niya yung fuel supply para bumilis yung ating makina. So, para hindi naman siya mamatay. Okay, so yun yung ginagawa ng governor to control or regulate the fuel supply ng ating engine. Okay, next we have the exhaust gas recirculation and scavenging mechanism. Ito yun. So, yung exhaust gas mo is dadaan dyan, papunta doon sa funnel. Pero yung ibang part ng exhaust gas is binabalik natin dito para ma-lessen natin yung pollutants na lumalabas sa ating exhaust gas system. So, these also use complex mechanisms. Okay. So let's go with the basic concepts in kinematics. So we have A, displacement. So displacement is the area bound by the velocity time graph. We have the velocity, which is the movement. Acceleration, so yung bilis ng bilis nung pagtaas ng kanyang velocity. Comment. Yan. Okay. So, using the formula, velocity is the rate of change of displacement with time. Okay, so these are the three different times of velocity time graph. So, ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga time graph dito? We have the velocity here and the time here. So, habang tumatagal, yung velocity is nami-maintain. Diba? So, ano nangyari? So, nagkakaroon tayo ito. So, habang tumatagal yung oras, yung velocity, maintain lang. So, ang tawag dito is zero acceleration. So, ibig sabihin, walang nadadagdag sa acceleration mo. Maintain mo lang yung velocity mo over time. Diba? Next, we have here the velocity and time. So, habang tumataas yung velocity, habang tumatagal, lalong na-maintain mo lang ang pagtaas ng velocity mo. So, ibig sabihin nito, this is a constant acceleration. So, ni-maintain mo yung pagtaas ng velocity mo. Constant lang yung acceleration mo over time. Okay, and the last we have here, habang tumatagal, lalong bumibilis yung velocity mo. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin nito? So, this graph tells us that this is an increasing acceleration. So, habang tumatagal, lalong bumibilis yung velocity mo. So, nag-i-increase yung acceleration mo. So, lalong bumibilis yung takbo mo. Okay, so those are three different types of velocity time graphs. Okay, we have here kinematic equations. Okay, and then discuss natin ito sa D is for displacement of the object. Time for which the object move is t. And A is for acceleration, V for velocity, and then we have here initial, like for example there, the VI is initial velocity, and the VF is final velocity. So meron siyang subscript. Okay. So a cargo ship, so this is an example problem. So a cargo ship will cruise through calm waters from port. The ship starts from rest. The captain orders the engines to accelerate uniformly at 0.5 meter per second for 30 seconds to avoid a potential collision. So solve the following. So what is the ship's velocity after 30 seconds? How far does the ship travel during this time? If the ship needs to cover a total distance of 1,000 meters, how long will it take at this acceleration? So what is the ship's velocity when it has traveled 1,000 meters? So these are the formulas. First, given natin is initial velocity. We have the acceleration and the time. So, the first question is, what is the ship's velocity after 30 seconds? So, by using the formula, velocity equals, final velocity equals initial velocity plus 80. So, makuha natin yung velocity 30 meter per second. Next, so how far does the ship travel during this time? So, using this formula, we can get that the ship can travel 675 meters during this time for 30 seconds. And then if the ship needs to cover a total distance of 1,000 meters, how long will it take at its acceleration? So using this formula, acceleration, distance, so magkaiba pala yung letters na ginamit dito, pasensya na. So distance equals to initial velocity times time plus 1/2 AT squared. Saan ba to? So 1/2 AT squared, ito yon. So, D is equal to VIT plus 1/2 AT squared. Using that formula, so makukuha natin yung answer is 40 seconds. Okay, and lastly, what is the ship's velocity when it has traveled 1,000 meters? So, we can use the formula here. This VF squared equals VI squared plus 2AD. Yan. So, para makuha mo yan, square root mo, and then yung answer mo is 35 meter per second. Okay, and so there are some problem solving also. So, let's go na lang. So, that's another example. Next, we'll go to angular motions, or W. So, parang W siya, pero hindi siya W. Ang tawag dyan. Nakatayang na W. So, ship's propeller is initially at rest and begins to rotate uniformly under the influence of the engine's torque. The angular acceleration of the propeller is 0.2 rad per second squared. After 59 seconds, the propeller reaches a certain angular velocity. So the engineer is tasked with determining the propeller's rotational performance. Solve the following. So formula. So these are the formulas that we can use. So letter A, what is the propeller's angular velocity? So, and B, how many revolutions? D is, how long does it take? So time yan. And then letter D, what is the propeller's angular velocity? So W yung nahanap dyan at after 450 revolutions. So to solve that, we can use this formula. So angular velocity after 40 seconds is equals to initial plus angular acceleration times time. So we have here 5 rad per second. For letter B, the total revolution will be in 50 seconds. So what is the revolution? So revolution ba yan, ha? How many revolutions does the propeller complete during this time? So using this formula, theta equals initial angular velocity times time plus 1/2 AT squared. So makukuha natin yan. So this is 125 radians. And then using the formula of theta radian revolution equals theta over 2 pi. So makukuha natin ito 99.9 revolutions. Okay. So yun lang. Diba? Yun lang. Okay, that ends our presentation. Diba? So those are examples of computations natin dun sa velocity, acceleration, linear velocity, and angular velocity. So I hope you learned something today, and see you on our next